Draft round one. Cam Ward, former Miami quarterback. Mm-hmm. Your team, your guy, selected number one by the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, cool.
Jaguars traded for number two with the Browns, it looks like.
Yep.
And how did all this go down, Troy? Well, you said you watched the draft.
Yeah, I mean, the Jaguars, I in my opinion, the best athlete in this draft was Travis Hunter.
Okay.
So I think the Jaguars got the best athlete. He's he plays both sides of the ball, defense and offense. He can be a kick return. I mean, this guy is a phenomenal athlete. I don't know if we've seen an athlete of his ability since like a Randy Moss or a Dion.
Oh, wow.
Really?
And it's whether or not they find the right spot to put him of how it can, because he can help, Trevor on offense, playing wide receiver. And, as a defensive back, he can play the defensive back. I think he's more suited to be a defensive back. I think he's very similar to Dion in a lot of ways. He played for Coach Prime in Colorado.
Okay.
Two guys from that team went. Coach Prime's son went later in the first round. He didn't.
He didn't. The first round entirely skipped him.
I thought he went 27th or 28th.
No.
Oh, that's right. They took the kid from Ole Miss.
Yep, Jackson Dart
from
the
kid
Giants.
from Ole Miss. Thanks, Blake, for catching me on that. So it was coming down to those two, and but in my opinion, as far as just a pure athlete, he's the best athlete in the draft this year, and he's the one. I mean, obviously now that he's in Jacksonville, he's the one we're going to keep our eye on.
Absolutely, yes.
So I mean, since Trevor, I would say he's one of the guys that I'm the most excited about the Jaguars getting.
Same.
Even though I'm not a huge Jaguar fan, but I root for the Jaguars when it's not the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think people who get picked to go to the Jaguars are Jaguars fans? Like,
No.
do you think Travis Hunter's like,
he handled it
They
well.
said he looked happy. My partner said I swear, he said he looked genuinely excited.
Well, I mean,
it's so funny that's the conversation. Well,
he
seemed like he was actually happy about it. I was surprised.
For business side of it,
that's awesome.
For a business side, you want to be picked by one of the Florida teams. And
right, taxes.
The reason is you don't have state income tax.
Mm.
So I mean that basically is
a bonus.
So some cases it's as much as 14-15% raise to yourself.
Wow.
Like if you go to California, you go to New York, you're paying those.
Yeah, they're getting
you're paying that state tax on top of everything else on top of the other thing. So it's you can make more money playing in Florida than you can in a lot of other states.
Right.
So so it's not a terrible, and he's got a great quarterback if he's wanting to play wide receiver. I mean, he has his troubles, but he's still. I mean,
he's got the talent in there somewhere.
Absolutely,
it's there. They just gotta get the right,
build some people around him.
It's hard for a Jaguars quarterback, man. It's hard because these guys will come out for a couple of years and just be on fire, and then it's like I don't know what happens. It's like they just
yeah. All right, we've done enough.
Put enough around them, and I don't know. It seems like quarterbacks get discouraged very quickly in Jacksonville traditionally.
Well, I mean, the problem is they don't keep a steady offensive coordinator, and hopefully they can kind of stabilize that because they've invested a lot in Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not going anywhere.
Right.
So I mean, he's their ride or die guy, and so they gotta figure out what works best for him instead of the other way around.
So you think he's going to be playing more offense than defense? Is he going to be playing both sides of the ball for a while? How do you think that works?
I don't know. I think he'll have limited time on the offense. I think he might be a third down guy on the offense. Probably coming out of the slot. But he just, like I said, his skill set is, there's no ceiling to it. You talked about Ricky being able to like pick up a basketball and just shoot, or pick up a paddle tennis paddle and play. This guy, I'm pretty sure, can do any of those things
on that level.
Like
some people just are born athletes. Man.
Yeah.
So
and Dion, that was a good comparison. Maybe even a Bo Jackson. He's not as big, but he's just as versatile. He can do all the stuff.
Yeah. Dion's probably the guy that he
favors the most.
And because of his association with Dion, you probably lean toward.
Absolutely, he probably got some of them.
You kind of lean into it a little bit more. And but.
I'm just happy he's an exciting player. He's wanted. Like Jaguars actually have some value there. Whether they can implement it or not, they have something there, and that's exciting for the city.
He's going to be a very popular player. Dion. He's been under Dion for a couple of years, so he knows how to be a professional coming in. And I don't know if you guys have watched Coach Prime, the Netflix thing.
No, not that specifically, but I've seen some stuff from him.
Dion kind of is, he's molding these kids to, hey,
to that next level.
We're doing this. We're not doing this. You're letting go of these friends.
He's elevating everybody.
I don't think the Jaguars have had a reputation of picking guys and then them being bad character.
Yeah, falling into the Duval lifestyle.
Yeah, bad character guys. I don't think this guy's a bad character guy. I think he's a solid young man, and he's exciting. So I think it's a very good. A good thing for the Jaguars because the Jaguars aren't really always good at the draft.
No, historically they're not.
They're not always good at the draft.
We've had like 2 good draft years.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm still mad at the Jaguars for the year that we could have got Dez Bryant.
Yeah,
we could have had freaking Dez Bryant was available to us, and we went with some no-name nobody who got cut in like 2 months.
Yeah. Like I said, they haven't always been good at it.
No,
they've been preparing for this moment right here.
I mean. What was it? Blake Bortles, the quarterback. I mean, was he their number 3 pick overall?
I believe he was the number 3 pick in 2013.
I mean, and he was a nice young man, but he never really.
Nice young man doesn't always make for a
transition.
Killer quarterback.
Like Tebow was a nice young man. He's
and he could turn it on.
But and Bortles had his moments. I mean, he got us to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
But then he couldn't throw an 8-yard screen pass.
He fell off
during that game. I mean, so he just wasn't a big game guy.
Right.
And Trevor's won a national championship, so he's played in a big game on the college level. We just need him to get to play in some big games on this level. So
Yeah. What did you think of the Dolphins taking Kenneth Grant from Michigan?
It's one of those picks. Like, okay, it was necessary for it. We needed that component, but it's nothing.
This is not exciting.
It's nothing exciting.
Yeah,
and I was a little shocked. I thought Miami was going to take a cornerback, but he's a safe pick.
Right.
That's kind of where I would go with him. He's a safe pick, and they need that on the line. So.
Yeah, but you were most disappointed that there wasn't a guy from like the SEC. You were disappointed it was a guy from the Big Ten in Michigan.
The Big Ten. I mean, what I've observed, the guys who are at the top level of the SEC are more prepared going into the NFL than a lot of the Big Ten guys. I mean, and I know people are like, oh, well, Tom Brady. Well.
There's one out of a few that's going to do it, but
okay, that's
majority,
How
exactly.
often has Tom Brady happened?
How many Tom Brady's are there?
Right.
One.
That's one. And I think the other guy to watch is the other one I was talking about is the kid from Ole Miss, Jackson Dart. I think he's going to be a good pro quarterback, and he was picked like 27th or something like that. He's an Ole Miss guy. He's only the third quarterback ever picked out of Ole Miss in the first round, and the first one was Archie Manning.
Nice.
And the second one was Eli Manning.
Yeah.
So he's the first.
It's good company.
He's the first quarterback to be picked out of Ole Miss in the first round, not named Manning.
Not a Manning. Yes.
Okay.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, speaking of the Jaguars, Orange County